Good morning, YouTube. You might be thinking, why the fuck is this guy wearing a headband? Look like Karate Kid.
Whole body.
I am trying to grow my hair out, and it's first thing in the morning. I look terrible first thing in the morning, so this helps slightly. But today, like I said, welcome back to the YouTube. It's a bit of a day in the life today. We have got Alicia coming down to record half of the day. It's 5 a.m. right now, and I don't want to be that brutal making her get up this early. So, yeah, we're going to just take you through our morning routine, because I do think a really good morning routine does just help set you up for the day. And I just wanted to take you through that because it is a big part of our day. We're going to take you through our training session, but also how to analyze your last show and how to improve for the next show. So that can be quite difficult for some people, especially when we all put so much into this, you know, a lot of emotions can get involved. So it's about taking the emotions outside of it. Now, obviously having a coach will tell you where you need to improve, plus judges' feedback. It's also important for yourself to analyze it too. So we're going to go through that, how we've done that, because we are now 12 days post-show. And we are getting prepared for our next one. Speaking of which, in the morning, every single day when I come downstairs, this gets updated. So this is on our kitchen island. It's something that we both see every single day. And I'll write down how many days out we are left. That needs to get changed now because we're 12 days out from the next one, which is the Two Rows Regional. So first things first is doing our check-ins. So Georgia's already in there doing hers. And that is the benefit of coaching each other. You know, we can actually see each other multiple times in a day. So we usually do an in-person check-in with each other first thing in the morning. And then also post-workout too. So I'm going to get in there and see how she's looking.
Hi. So I normally do my check-in first. So yeah, this is our setup. We posted about it on our last YouTube. Ignore the mess. Bedding is being cleaned.
It's our spare bedroom.
Yeah.
Hold on. So you've got some more space. But this goes to prove that you don't need a lot of space for this check-in
really
setup.
Small.
Yeah.
So we've got like our main spare bedroom upstairs. This is like our backup spare room / Harry's now secondary coach. But yeah, all you need is a backdrop. This light is huge, and this gap really isn't that big at all. But I haven't zoomed out on the camera here. Whenever we do anything different, we've got like a spare mirror, so it can go on the paint cans.
Very professional setup.
So we can see what we're doing. But yeah, Bluetooth clicker, tripod, light, backdrop. That's all you need. We used to do it in the front room, so we actually had like a bit of cardboard, like plywood, because of heels. But yeah, no, this is our setup. So yeah, it's good. We've got a routine every morning. I do mine, Matt does his, then he does his steps.
It's really, really important, guys, whenever you have your check-in light set up, is actually for us white people, especially when you're as pacey as me, it provides a bit of downlighting. Because if it's like a ring light, which a lot of people get, and it's at like hip height, you will just get washed out.
And this is good because you can turn it as well. So it's not just the 3 ring light things. So yeah, again, it doesn't wash man out.
Yeah, it's honestly, it's perfect. And you can fold it up and you can take it to shows. So we have, like we took it to Arnold's, it gives consistent lighting every single time. And because you know what it's like when you're deep into prep, especially when you're getting close to a show, if you do one bad check-in, it'll fuck your head up. And then if you do that the night before the show because you can't find good lighting anywhere, it can get in your head. So consistent check-in is very, very key. But yeah, Georgia's going to do her check-in first, and then yeah, like I said, I'll do mine. So yeah, let's get stuck in. So yeah, Georgia made a really good point. So it's really good to do first thing in the morning pictures and also video. So pictures are really good to analyze like your condition, how your condition is compared to like your previous check-ins. But the video is also good to see how you look moving through the transitions. So for example, with G, she can't have glute striations and she is prone to having glute striations. So if we start to see them coming in her transitions, I wouldn't see them if I just looked at pictures. But on the stage, that could cost her a pro card potentially or first place. So video and pictures are key.
And being able to hold the videos, I use it for holding as well.
Yeah.
Endurance.
Yeah, pose and feedback as well. I do it to learn my angles a little bit better for stage. Okay.
Yeah, I need to definitely give you more food.
I hit a big low weigh-in today. I feel like a skinny boy. This is the lowest weigh-in of all prep.
But you've been having more food.
Yeah, that's the benefit of it. We've been reversing, both of us essentially been reversing into shape, which is nice. We've not been doing any cardio, and she's been slowly giving me more food. But as she's been giving me more food, I've actually been dropping weight. So I dropped a whole kilo today, and I feel it. But yeah, it's all part of the process. So more food going in. Let's get some fun. The conditions there. Didn't lose on the last show from condition, so just need a bit more fullness.
Yeah, but in like, because last time we only had a day and a bit, barely that to load you.
Yeah,
whereas we've got less than 2 weeks now.
Yeah.
Let's keep putting food in you, keep filling you up, getting you feeling good.
We'll get into more of that later because that's going into like how we can improve show to show and what we've actually sort of analysed. But yeah, let's crack on with the rest of the morning. Okay, so Coach has just spoken after looking at the visual. Put the visuals on the screen. Yeah, we're increasing my foods again. She wants to do it 350 to 500. We've still got, what is it, 12 days. So we're going to do it cautiously, 300.
You wanted to do 150, that ain't going to happen. You're turning into a skinny boy.
But anyway, moving on to the rest of the morning routine. God, I do feel like a skinny boy. I hope I don't look like a skinny one.
Well, if you listen to Coach.
Yeah, more food. So hydration is so important. You'll hear people talking about it on Instagram and stuff like that all the time, but it really, really is important, especially when you do start as early as us. Like I said, it's 5 a.m. and we like to just get started on the day, but the first meal isn't for a while, and I crack on with steps, and I still use the sauna every single morning. So hydration is key for cognitive function, so I can actually get back to people's check-ins and know what I'm talking about. But also for later in the day when I do train, I want to be well hydrated. So I was using, and this tastes really good. So I was using Strom's Hydromax, which is very, very good, but we've actually both fully converted to Naughty Boy at the moment. We're really, really liking this one. So this one's called Hydromind. And it's basically still got a very, very similar hydration formula compared to Hydromax, except it's also got basically stuff in here which helps with cognitive function. So again, and was I way up by out of frame? How much?
You were that.
Great. This is why we need Alicia here. This is why we've hired her.
You just get me to check it.
Yeah, this is why we've hired you, Alicia. So yeah, basically it's got loads of stuff in here to help you with your cognitive function. And I do genuinely feel better when I'm drinking this. So Hydromind, Naughty Boy, smashed it. And then of course, FBS, Full Bore Sports Stress Less. So this is, as it says here, comprehensive stress support. Stress in a prep can absolutely murder a prep. It can cause weight gain, it can cause water retention. If you're trying to lose body fat, it can stop that happening. It can cause just a cascade of digestive problems. So this is a really, really good supplement to just keep you in a really nice position. So it's also got some immune support in there, and I do not want to get, I've been ill last week, last 3 days, and I don't want to get ill again. I was ill in peak week last time. Your immune system is already suppressed when you're in prep, so this helps with that a little bit. But the main reason why we take it is to help control cortisol, keep water retention down, and also it has got some digestive aids in there as well. And good tight midsection is key for any category, so this helps massively. Scoop it up, go and do my steps. Okay, so yeah, 30 minutes of walking I do every single morning whilst I drink that 2 litres of drink. This is very handy for people that get, what is it called? SAD, yeah, seasonal...
Something depression,
yeah. Basically, you get a bit depressed with the UK winter weather. We are coming into spring now, which is nice, but it's still nice to start the day with this because it helps wake you up in the morning and gets that circadian rhythm going. I do feel a lot more alert after my 30 minutes of steps and having this SAD lap on, so I'll put that on for a time of 30 minutes as well. Whilst I'm doing this, I will look at George's check-in usually, give her feedback, which I haven't done yet. Going to get on that, and then just catch up on a few messages. I'm going to do my steps. Whilst I do my steps on here, I actually do my vacuums at the same time. Georgia does her vacuums every single morning. it's just such an underrated, do you agree? Such an underrated tool for teaching you core control. Now for some people, they really struggle with vacuums, so you're not going to be able to do it whilst walking. But the easiest way to do it...
I can't.
No. So the easiest way to do it is like actually leaning over something or lying down, would you agree?
Yeah, the first easiest is lying down on your back.
Yeah.
Then it is leaning over something, and then it's being stood up.
And eventually you can start to do it whilst doing other activities like walking. If you can do it whilst walking, you can do it whilst posing, which is obviously the key for a lot of people like classic physique competitors, for example. Mentally, you don't need to vacuum, but it teaches you really good core control.
Yeah, I think that's the same with bikini. Bikini sees, well, I'm not showing my ribs on stage because that's the complete opposite to what you want, but it is understanding how you can engage your core, and you've got that mind muscle to keep that core tight.
Yeah. That's
what it's teaching you.
Very, very important. So I'll do one round here so you can see what it looks like. I will look like a skinny boy doing this. If you do a vacuum properly, you obviously can't breathe, you can't talk. So breathe all the air out. And that's the key as well. When you stop the vacuum, you don't lose your breath, let your gut hang out. You go into 10 stabs and you keep that control there. Benefit of doing it whilst on the treadmill as well. The time is there so I can dine it. So yeah, do that 3 or 4 rounds every single morning as well. I'll do. So basically, sauna, shower, skincare routine, so exfoliated, put on some moisturiser. The next thing I'll do, a couple of times a week, is my blood pressure. It's just another health metric that bodybuilders should track, mainly in off season as body weight pushes up, but it's also a good idea to do it in prep as well. So I'll do this a couple of times in the week just to make sure that's in a good position. Pretty much bang on where you want it to be. It's actually a little bit low, if anything. Not bad. Not bad. Right, that's enough out of you. So yeah, that's not bad. 126 over 51. 51 is a little bit low, but I'm prone to having lower diastolic anyway. And the pulse is 65, so I don't use any kind of like stimulants in terms of fat burners, so I don't use Cone, don't use Yohimbine, I haven't got in T3 or T4. So I would expect that number to be low, and 65 is about right, so we're in a good spot. And that's it for now. I'm going to wrap up the video for now until Alicia comes over, because the next 4 hours, it's now 6:15, and the next 4 hours I'm literally just going to be sat here doing check-ins, so there's not much point in recording any of that. I'll get in a couple of meals before I go to the gym, but I'll let Georgia talk about the peri-workout nutrition, because it comes into the subject I spoke about first thing this morning, how to retain muscle tissue in a prep scenario. So I'll let Georgia talk about that, especially as she does my food plan anyway. So yeah, see you in the next clip.
So Matt said about how to hold muscle when you're in a prep, and one of the biggest things is that peri-workout nutrition. So we are very big on making sure you have carbs pre and post workout, and making sure you have enough carbs. So this can vary between what carb sources you have access to based around your lifestyle, based around your work and everything as a whole. But you want to make sure you're using carb sources that are going to help keep you fuller for longer, and it's going to help fuel your whole sessions. For example, for me, I will have a bowl of cream of rice, I'll have a bagel, and then it might be something to do with a bit of dark chocolate, and then maybe a little bit of jam or honey. So we're getting a little bit of a diverse amount of carbs in there, a little bit of fats to help slow the digestion, and then obviously some protein on top. Matt will end up having 2 pre-workout carb meals prior to his training. So he'll end up having a bowl of oats in the morning, and then something a little bit lighter prior to training, so it sits a bit better for him. So he'll end up having 2 bagels and then some jam pre-workout. do you want to go halves? Because I've got to actually buy these. And he went, no, I'll use the shit stuff.
Oh, yeah, I did say that.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, this is so good, these EAAs. He was like, oh, yeah, they are.
Yeah, I did have them today. Sorry about that.
This is why I hide food. I will share everything. What's that saying? You do not have to worry about me ever cheating on you, but I will not share food with you.
Yeah, this is very true in this situation. Anyway, we're moving on. We're going to go to the gym now. So all check-ins have been done from this morning. Mm-hmm. I'm really pumped for the season this year. Like, I've got a really good roster of athletes. So Alyssa's going to be at a lot of their shows, and I'm very, very excited for it. You've got some people competing as well. Yeah, I'm really excited, yeah. From next month on, May onwards, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's going to be really exciting because of like obviously Fit Model was such a thing last year of NPC, but PCA Fit Model coming in. Yeah. So Fit Model and Bikini is going to be fun. I'm
hyped for it. Whenever I get their check-ins through, I'm like, fuck yeah, he's looking good. So it's going to be a lot of fun. But yeah, Georgia spoke about the nutrition. So we've had those pre-workout meals now. We are ready to train. We're feeling energized. We're ready to go. We've made our pre-workouts.
Pre-workout.
Georgia's told me off for stealing her EAAs. And now we're going to go to the gym and train.
So, just catching my breath in between sets. I always start with, if I've got abs, I'll do abs first. Stretching first, whether it's upper or lower, but definitely more so with lower. I want to make sure I'm really warmed up. I've got a good connection with my glutes especially. And then I'll always do a kind of a warm-up activation set. So this is more like a superset. I'm just making sure I really control my reps. It's so important, especially as a whole with training, but especially in the back end of prep, like we can just get a little bit more tired. And it's very easy to go one way or the other with like, yes, wanting to push hard, but sometimes I've got low food or I've got high cardio, whatever. But even if you don't think, oh, I'm not growing, you want to maintain what you've got. So mindset is everything. Like I use my warm-up time as like my locking in time. I think about my why, I think about the end goal, me getting on stage. And that mindset that I start my training session with is going to be what carries me through my session. As I said, even if we're not growing, we want to maintain. If we can reverse into the show, more food, less cardio, absolutely. But if it is a case, if you are in that situation where you are digging, then yeah, preserving the muscle and having the right mindset to make sure that we don't pull off is going to be so key. So when it comes to keeping muscle in a prep specifically, the biggest thing is sometimes, yeah, we are going to lose a bit of strength. It sucks because we love being strong, but how can we manipulate our training so we don't feel so frustrated that we are losing some strength? And that's still making sure we're thinking of progression outside of the box. So that can be things like, do we need to pull back and think about our form? Do we need to think about our tempo? Thinking about sometimes it's just if we've got a lot of volume because we could handle that when we have more food, we're a bit more fatigued. So do we need to pull back on volume? And maybe instead of doing 3 to 4 sets, we're doing 2 solid working sets or something. That's going to enable better recovery and better execution within our sessions rather than feeling like we're just overloading the muscles consistently for hours and then doing cardio. So thinking about where we can make those fine tunes with our volume and then thinking about how we execute a lift, being present with the lift. Can we pull back on tempo so we've got more time under tension? That's still going to be working our muscles and still making sure that we're preserving and protecting our muscles as much as possible, even if we can't grow.
Yeah, top tip for anyone that's posing or practicing their posing, always do it without your shoes on, because you're not going to wear shoes on stage. So posing room's taken, so Alicia has joined me in the men's changing room. We're just going to do some rounds in here. So one thing, I'll briefly touch on it. So at the start of the episode, I was like, you got to look at how you can improve show to show, analyse the footage and analyse where you can get better. And there's always something that you can do. So for me and Georgia, there's a couple of posing tweaks that we can make. Even though we practice posing a lot, there's still always something that you can do. So for me, it's actually just angling my top line a little bit better. And for Georgia, which you'll see in a minute when I look over her, it's actually just engaging her midsection a little bit more to bring that in. And that can sometimes be the difference. And we briefly spoke about that this morning, but okay. So here we are, physique update and my lowest weigh-in of preps. So it's just flaring this lat more, which I could have done on stage, and then bring this top line round just a touch more. And that is what I've been practicing since watching the live stream. So we were very fortunate in the fact that we had the live stream to review. But you often don't have that in bodybuilding shows, so if you don't, try and get someone to go and watch your show. Hopefully your coach will be there, so they can give you the feedback, what you need to work on. If not, your partner, a friend or someone that can record it, take pictures, and you can reflect back on that. And the important thing is to take the emotions out of it. So sometimes you can think, oh, I beat him in that area, I should have won the show. Well, you lost the show for a reason. There was something that you could have done to improve. It's quite rare, it does happen, I'm not going to lie, but it is quite rare that you smoked everyone and you didn't get the first place. There's something that you could have done. So find out what that is and make sure you nail it for the next show. That's exactly what me and Georgia are trying to do for our show in 12 days' time. So yeah, we're going to be working on her midsection control a little bit. Georgia is a fantastic poser. She already poses like a pro. She's got great confidence on stage, which took a while to get, right?
Yes, so if you don't think you've got flow or confidence, get it, because I did not when I first started.
She's actually really quite, I've never had a problem with it, but I still find it quite inspiring how it was a big problem for her at the start. She used to shake a lot. I'll never forget that one of the Two Bros shows, the one that was outside in the field, it was like watching Saving Private Ryan, you know, the war movie, and they're all like shaking in the boats before they're about to go onto the beach. It was just like that.
It used to get in my head. I'm not like if you see me and my sister, she's the spotlight person, and I'm not. So you remember that? I remember a different show in like 2021, and I was like pumping up, and I was like just getting like really like in my head because I'm like, everyone's going to see me on stage. That's the point.
Yeah, but now she's completely different. She'll walk out, she, like I said, she poses like a professional, she looks like a professional on stage, but it's because she's worked on it, and it's something that she knew she had to do, so she didn't just ignore it, she worked on it really, really hard. But even though that's the case, there's always something you can still improve on, and that's what we're going to be working on today.
Yep.
So let's get stuck in.
She says just after finish training legs.
Nice, so it's this here that we're working on. This is much better now, we never had this detail before, and it's much tighter. It's good. Nice. Lock it in, there we go. Very nice. Good. Do another round. Good. Like that.
It's hard whenever I've got a bit to drink.
Yeah, no, it's getting better and better all the time, which is awesome. You've got 12 days to continue to work on it.
Pull it in.
We'll pull it in, yeah. So we'll probably wrap the video up there, guys, to be honest, because all we're going to do is a bit more posing rounds here. When we get back, we just do a little bit more work, walk the dog, and then we pretty much zone out for the rest of the day. We're like
It's only
old
a couple
people.
of hours, isn't it? Like we try and force downtime. So
Yeah.
normally like 6 o'clock-ish is final meal time, and 6 till about 8. Then 8 o'clock is going upstairs to bed.
Yeah, pretty
we
much.
both read a book in bed.
Yeah.
I read a mindset book. Matt reads his like science fiction books, whatever's going to help you unwind.
Yeah.
Lights down, and then normally in bed, but actually trying to get to sleep by about 9, half 9.
Yeah, so thanks for watching, guys. To recap the video then, so basically the title of the video is how to keep muscle tissue on prep. We've recapped that is basically your pre-workout and nutrition. Breakfast isn't the most important meal of the day for bodybuilders. It's what you eat pre and post, or potentially intra, to fuel that training performance. And then don't train like a bitch when you're in the gym. Train fucking hard, make sure you keep that muscle tissue and give it a reason to stick around. And then I've also briefly touched upon how you can improve show-to-show and reflection on that. Anything else you want to add?
Just think about, especially before my sets, like I know in prep you just get to the point where you're fatigued, you're tired, you're not feeling as strong, you just want to get in and out, but remember like you're working for that show day. So when you get on that stage, you're going to be so much more proud of whatever you bring, placings aside, that you were present and that you still pushed, rather than, yes, some days are going to be weaker and some days are going to be stronger, but rather than giving yourself excuses, just think, this is for those 30 seconds on stage, like make them count. Like you don't want to be feeling like you've lost more muscle because you just gave in for what you felt temporarily. Like it's a couple of hours in the gym, lock in, and like, yeah, pre and post workout, support that training, support the energy in the training, support your recovery so you can feel as fresh as possible the next time. And yeah, just picture that end result on stage, picture how you want to look, how you want to feel on that show day, and anytime you do feel that little bit lower, just remember that.
Yeah. So the next video, unfortunately, Alicia is busy on the regional, so we're going to have to try and self-vlog that one again. So apologies, everyone. It won't be the best, but yeah. After that, we've got her for weekly episodes, and she will be there for the pro qualifier, right?
Yes.
Which is the big one. So there's going to be a movie, and we're looking forward to that. So thanks for watching. Make sure you do subscribe, and we'll see you in the next week's video.
See you in the next one.